All right, this is video number 17, and I've completed the first print coat of the aqua resin on the rubber mold. And the aqua resin is a two-part system. It's a liquid and a powder, and it is two parts in terms of if you're measuring out by volume. It's 2 parts powder to 1 part liquid. And what I do is with these print coats, I make it a little bit more liquidy than that. So you've got a range of, in terms of the amount of liquid or solid or powder that you put in, and it varies the properties of the casting a little bit. But basically, it's a very nice, easy, forgiving system to use. It's also non-toxic, which is nice. Still want to wear gloves when you're using it. And it also tools very easily, paints very easily, so it's something that you can rework after the piece is done. So it's just a very easy, forgiving, and pretty, fairly strong casting material to use. So I'm also adding to the print coats, and I'll put on 3 print coats. I add a white. It comes in aqua resin cells, a concentrated colors. So you don't need to add much to it. I think it's 0.5%, given the volume that you have of coloring. I've got a mixing container and a measuring cup and a chip brush that I'll use. So it only calls for 1 or 2 of these print coats when you look at the technical bulletin, but I usually put down 3 because I like to make sure that I'm covering all the areas, number 1, before I go to the cloth. So this coaxial cloth that I'll show you later, that gives the piece its real strength. So here we're just putting kind of a thin veneer. This is our surface, and then we're going to back it with a stronger material. But I put on 3 coats to make sure I'm covering, and also my pieces have a lot of kind of dips and valleys and sharp edges and stuff, and so I like to try to even those out a little bit before I put the cloth on, because it's very important to make sure that the cloth is really conforming to the surface. Otherwise, you can get little air pockets that can potentially sort of break, and you can have, because this veneer is so thin that if you've got air behind it, if there's any kind of puncture to that area or pushing into that area, it's gonna crack, and you'll have these like little holes in your piece. So you really want the cloth to lay flat and fill all the gaps. And so by putting in 3 coats, I can do a little bit better job of creating a nice solid surface for that cloth to go onto. All right, so I will complete my other 2 print coats, and then I'll come back and talk a little bit about the cloth backing for this.